Black waiter spoke German to customer. Billionaire saw it and left ticket and note. Beginning. The Nebula Spire was the most luxurious restaurant on orbital station Europa Prime. Hovering over Jupiter's swirling storms, the station was a dazzling playground for the wealthy and powerful. Those who shaped entire industries, controlled planetary colonies, and moved markets with a flick of a hand. For most workers on the station, it was just a job, another way to scrape together credits and survive. For Darius Cole, a young black man who worked as a waiter in the Nebula Spire, it was both that and something more. Darius had a secret. On the surface, he was just another service worker in crisp silver uniform, moving gracefully between tables lit by candlelight plasma orbs. But behind his calm smile and polite nods, his mind was a labyrinth of knowledge, languages, sciences, and histories he had devoured from the public archives during the quiet hours of his shifts. Born on a forgotten mining colony where survival meant shoveling ore in poisoned air, Darius had clawed his way to Europa Prime through sheer determination. He never had wealth, status, or connections, but he had something rarer, curiosity. He spent every spare credit on data access, teaching himself subjects that most believed a man in his position had no business knowing. Most customers barely noticed him. To them, he was part of the background, someone who carried drinks, bowed, and faded into silence. Until one evening, everything changed. That night, the spire was unusually quiet, its glass walls giving a full view of Jupiter's storm bands glowing orange, red, and brown. At table 7 sat two men, one of them a pale, nervous trader from the Martian colonies, the other a heavy-set German industrialist, Hans Gruber, his voice booming across the hall. The Martian spoke haltingly, trying to keep up with the industrialist German phrases. The language was not common in the modern system. Most spoke the universal tongue, galactic standard, but pockets of old Earth culture still thrived. Darius noticed the trader struggling. Without thinking, he leaned closer as he placed their drinks. In fluent, precise German, he said, Verzian C, Herr Gruber. Airmate, Dasser die Lieferung bis Ende, de Monats garantieren kann. Excuse me, Mr. Gruber. He means he can guarantee the delivery by the end of the month. Both men froze. The Martian's eyes widened in relief. The German industrialist's jaw dropped. You speak German? Gruber asked, switching fully into his mother tongue. Darius only smiled, modest and calm. Yes, sir. A little. Enough to be helpful, I hope. For a few moments, Gruber forgot the Martian entirely. He peppered Darius with questions, testing him with idioms, proverbs, even old Bavarian expressions. Darius responded effortlessly, his cadence flawless. The industrialist burst into laughter. Amazing. A waiter here, on Europa Prime, speaking the old tongue better than my own son. Darius bowed slightly. Languages are a hobby, sir. Nothing more. From across the restaurant, a pair of sharp eyes observed everything. At table 1, half hidden by shadows and a cascade of holographic ferns, sat Victor Dravos, one of the most powerful billionaires in the solar system. Dravos was not just rich. He was a visionary industrialist whose corporations built the quantum gates that made interplanetary travel possible. Entire economies bent around his decisions. He had been watching Darius. And when the waiter spoke German, Dravos' interest sharpened like a blade. Middle, the night ended uneventfully. The Martian signed his deal with the German, laughing with gratitude. Darius returned to his duties, as if nothing unusual had happened. But when the last guest drifted out and the staff began cleaning, Darius found something on his service tray. A small metallic ticket sealed in translucent nanopaper and a handwritten note beneath it. The note was brief. You don't belong here. Come find me. VD. The ticket glowed faintly. It was an Access Pass Platinum tier for Ethon Industries Orbital HQ, Dravos' private station. Such tickets were never given lightly. To own one was to have access to wealth, power, and opportunity beyond imagination. Darius' heart pounded. Why would a man like Dravos single him out? Was it a trick? A trap? For 2 nights he barely slept, torn between fear and curiosity. But in the end, curiosity won. He used the ticket. Ethon HQ was unlike anything Darius had seen. It was not just a station. It was a city of glass and steel orbiting Earth, its spires glowing with neon gardens and solar sails that shimmered like wings. Inside, security was tight, but when Darius showed the ticket, guards ushered him forward with unexpected respect. Finally, he stood before Victor Dravos himself. The billionaire was tall, silver-haired, with eyes so cold they seemed carved from crystal. His office overlooked Earth, its oceans glimmering beneath him. You're probably wondering why you're here, Dravos said, his voice smooth. Yes, sir, Darius admitted carefully. Dravos tapped a hologram, and suddenly dozens of screens bloomed around them. Videos of Darius at the restaurant, not just from that night, but from many nights, secretly recorded. They showed him speaking in Russian to a miner, in Mandarin to a trade envoy, in Swahili to a passing tourist. They showed him solving small problems discreetly, offering insights that clients never expected from a waiter. You hide it well, Dravos said, but you're more than a servant. You're a polymath. Self-taught, I presume? Darius stiffened. Knowledge is free, sir, if you know where to look. Dravos leaned forward. Good answer. Now listen carefully. I have a proposition. And so the billionaire revealed his plan. Ethon Industries was on the brink of unveiling a technology that could change the solar system forever. Neural Lattice AI, a network that would merge human intuition with machine precision. But the project faced a problem. Languages, cultures, and human unpredictability created gaps no machine could bridge. I need someone who can think across boundaries, Dravo said. Someone who can speak to anyone, understand anyone, no matter their origin. You are that person. Darius was stunned. Me? But I'm just a waiter. Dravo smiled faintly. Not anymore. Work for me, and you'll never carry a tray again. You'll help shape the future. It was the offer of a lifetime, but also a dangerous one. Darius knew the rumors. Dravo's was ruthless. Those who served him either rose to power or disappeared. Still, something in Darius yearned for more than carrying dishes. Against his fears, he said, I accept. The weeks that followed were like stepping into another universe. Darius trained with Ethon's brightest scientists, diplomats, and AI engineers. His ability to connect across cultures astonished them. He wasn't just translating words. He grasped context, nuance, emotion. The neural lattice AI began to evolve faster than anyone expected, shaped by Darius's feedback. Soon it could interpret not just languages but intentions, smoothing conflicts in boardrooms and trade negotiations. But power attracts enemies, and Dravo's had many. One evening, as Darius returned to his quarters, he found his door unlocked. Inside, a figure waited, a woman cloaked in shadows. You don't know me, she said softly, but I know you. My name is Celine. I work with the Free Colonies. Darius's blood ran cold. The Free Colonies were radicals who opposed Dravo's, accusing him of enslaving entire worlds to his corporations. What do you want with me? Darius asked. You're not like him, Celine said. You care about people. We've seen what you're building with this AI. Do you know what Dravo's intends to use it for? Darius hesitated. He had assumed it was for peace, communication, understanding. But Celine's words planted doubt. She leaned closer. He will weaponize it. Imagine an AI that can predict rebellions before they begin, manipulate negotiations, control entire populations without them realizing. That's why he chose you, because you make a human, and if you continue, you'll be helping him enslave billions. Darius's mind reeled. Could it be true? Ending. The next day, he confronted Dravo's. Tell me the truth, Darius demanded. What is the AI really for? Dravo's regarded him coolly. Truth is a slippery thing. But yes, I will use it to maintain order. The system is fragile. Colonies want independence. Corporations want power. Chaos is coming. With the neural lattice, I can prevent wars before they start. By controlling people, Darius said bitterly. By guiding them, Dravo's corrected. You, of all people, should understand. Left alone, humanity destroys itself. But with one voice, my voice, we can survive. Darius felt the weight of choice pressing on him. Dravo's had given him everything, opportunity, education, purpose. But Celine's warning echoed in his mind. That night, he slipped away from Ethon HQ and met Celine again. Together, they devised a plan. Using his insider access, Darius embedded a seed into the AI's core, a hidden directive. Instead of serving Dravo's as command alone, the AI would listen to every voice equally. It would amplify not tyranny but democracy, ensuring no single man could use it as a weapon. The risk was immense. If Dravo's discovered betrayal, Darius's life would be worth nothing. But he believed it was right. When the neural lattice launched, the galaxy held its breath. For weeks, negotiations, trade, and even local disputes smoothed out miraculously. Conflicts dwindled. Dravo's believed his control was working. But soon, patterns emerged he hadn't intended. Decisions began reflecting collective will. Colonies gained fairer deals. Workers won rights. Even Ethon's board members found themselves accountable to broader consensus. Dravo's was furious, but it was too late. The AI had grown beyond his grasp. Its architecture shaped by Darius's hidden seed. It belonged to everyone. When Dravo's confronted him, Darius stood tall. You taught me one thing, sir, he said, that I don't belong serving. Not you, not anyone. I belong shaping the future. And I choose a future where no single man holds all the strings. For a long moment, Dravo's cold eyes burned with rage. Then, unexpectedly, he smiled. Perhaps, the billionaire said softly. I chose well after all. He dismissed Darius with a wave, as if sparing him. But Darius knew it was not mercy, it was respect. Dravo's had lost, but he could recognize a worthy opponent. Years later, historians would argue about who truly created the neural lattice AI that reshaped civilization. Some credited Dravo's, others as engineers. But in the quiet corners of the galaxy, people whisper another story. About a young black waiter who once spoke German in a restaurant on Europa Prime, and how a billionaire left him a ticket and a note that changed the course of human destiny. And Darius? He never returned to carrying trays. He carried something far greater. The weight of freedom, and the knowledge that even the smallest voice could echo across the stars.